Hey guys, Jake from Michigan here. As you can see, the weather here in Michigan, as I'm sure it is where you're located as well, is fairly warm for this time of year. We're in early March right now, so normally we're doing a lot of timber work, taking a lot of trees down for various projects. And while we're still doing that, right now, because it's so warm, we're able to get a lot of our food plot work, our food plot prep work accomplished. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about in this video, is something that you should be doing right now for your food plots, and that's taking a soil test to make sure that your food plot is hitting on all cylinders come this fall. Now, there are a lot of important factors that go into the perfect food plot. Is it the correct shape? Is it in the correct location? Are you planting the right seed type based on the food plot size, based on the soil type, based on the deer density in the area? There are a lot of things that go into creating the perfect food plot, but we are only going to be touching on the soil test in today's video. We'll probably be making other videos as we get further into food plot season on other factors that go into the perfect food plot. But again, in today's video, we're only going to be talking about getting that soil test, which is something that you can be doing right now to make sure that your food plot reaches its maximum effectiveness or close to it this fall. And for those of you guys that are unfamiliar as to what a soil test is or why, as a food plotter, you should be getting one, your soil test is going to tell you everything that you need to know about the makeup of the soil within your food plot. It's going to tell you the different levels of nutrients that are in your soil soil type, the organic matter, and in my opinion, most importantly, your soil's pH level. Every crop or every plant has a different preferred pH. And luckily for us, most of what we're planting for deer within our food plots, they all have a very similar preferred pH. They all like it around neutral. They like the pH to be around 6.5 to 7. Again, that's right in the middle. That's a neutral pH. And without that soil test, you're essentially flying blind. You're not going to know what the soil's pH is within your food plot. Each crop we plant for deer has different nutritional needs. For example, brassicas and corn, they really like nitrogen, where clovers and other legumes, they really like potash or potassium. And your pH influences the availability of those nutrients within the soil, basically impacting how well your crops are able to absorb nutrients. So if your pH is off, that means that certain nutrients are not going to be available to the crops that we're planting within our food plot, meaning that your food plot is not going to be able to reach its full potential. And for those of you guys that are like me, who has a certain budget for food plots every year, to put this in fertilizer terms, if you put fertilizer down when your pH is off, your crops won't be able to absorb all of that fertilizer. So basically, you'll be throwing away money, since some of that fertilizer will either evaporate or wash away before your crops are able to absorb it. So hopefully you can see why having your pH within that preferred range, neutral, 6.5 to 7, is so important for our food plots. And it starts with getting that soil test. As far as getting the soil test itself, this is very simple. Start by taking samples from several different locations within your food plot, and depending on the size of your plot, if you have a larger area, it might make sense to do a few different soil tests. But for most of us food plotters that have a 1/4 acre plot or a 1/2 acre plot, getting one soil test will be fine for most of our plots. Once you have the soil collected from your food plot, then you just need to send it in to the local university or whoever you bought your soil test kit from. After receiving your sample, most places will send you a detailed soil report within a few days, going over everything that's in your soil, including your soil's pH. Now, when you look at that report from the soil test that you sent in, most of our plots, especially the new ones that we're creating, come back with a lower pH. And this means that it's more acidic. And in order to increase the pH to get closer to that neutral number that we're shooting for, we need to apply lime to our food plots. Lime is simply crushed limestone, and it comes in a variety of different types. And depending on your equipment and your budget on any given year, you just need to select the type of lime that best fits your scenario. All the different types of lime, for the most part, work the same way. Once the lime is applied to the soil, the lime particles react with the soil particles, particle for particle, and they increase the pH over time. The biggest difference is just how the different types of lime are applied to the food plot or wherever you're putting the lime down, and how long that reaction takes place. As far as when to put the lime down on your food plots, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this video now in early March, is because sometimes it takes lime quite some time to react to the soil, so the sooner you can get it down, the better. Late winter, early spring is normally the time when I'm getting my soil tests, so I can keep an eye out for when the lime goes on sale and buy a lot of it to get it down on my food plots early in the spring, so that way it has more time to correct the pH before the upcoming season. But don't skip the soil test, guys, and if you can, try to get that done sooner than later. That way you know everything that's in your soil and the adjustments that you need to make before the upcoming season. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have any questions, please drop those in the comment section below, and please let us know if we can help you change your property for good.